Hi everyone, Sparrow here, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for joining me for the Stamp Around UK video hop. This is a video hop, so links to everyone else's videos can be found down below in the description, so do please make sure you have a little look at those at the end of this video once I am finished, and see what everyone else has done with the theme of Case the Catalogue. So it's a topic which was good for me. I enjoy casing stuff out of the catalogue, and I decided to use the Shopler Town stamp set, this one right here, and I'm casing it from the mini catalogue, the September to December 2023 mini catalogue. It can be found on page 19 in this catalogue. I won't show you it now because obviously it'll give away the project which I'm casing, but if you want to have a little look, you can find it over on page 19 in this little catalogue. So let's go through some of the products which I'm going to be using. I am going to be changing it slightly because I haven't got the papers which I have used, but I'm going to be using the lovely new online exclusive designer series paper. So the papers I decided to use is going to be the Traditions of St. Nick 12x12 designer series paper, which is this one right here. So we've already started to use some of these already. So we've got half papers. So we've got one. This is one of the patterns which you've got this one right here, and it's got this lovely pattern on the back. That's one of them. So that would be in a 12x12, but we've already used some of this already. Got this one here. So you've got a lovely Christmas tree, vintagey, kind of like Christmas tree, fireplace, rocking horse. A really nice old-fashioned style design on that, and then you've got this lovely green on the back. Now this is one of the ones which I'm going to be using for this project. You've got Santa Claus or Father Christmas right there on this one. Really nice, really simple card. You can kind of like cut some of these out and have it just as a sentiment. And you've got this lovely red on the back. And again, this is one of the ones which I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be pairing this one and this one together for today's project. And then the rest of the papers which you've got this one here, which has got your gingerbread and some mulled drink of some kind, and your candy canes and sweets. And you've got this lovely pattern on the back. Letter boxes, post boxes, and letters, and this pattern on the back. And you have got stockings and that pattern on the back there. So this is a online exclusive paper, and it is Traditions of St. Nick is the name of this paper pack. So do go ahead and check that one out if that is something which you are interested in as well. Remember, these are all whilst supplies last, so if you like it, I would grab it soon. But yeah, as I mentioned already, these are the two pieces I've already done. So I've gone ahead and cut these down to size. I'll go through the measurements with you in a moment. Other bits which you will need, I've got myself a bit of basic quite thick here as well, and a bit of very vanilla cardstock. I'm also going to be using the metallic enamel effects basics, or MEBs as we like to call them, and I'm going to be using these as well, and that's about it. So I reckon what I'll do, I will crack on and we will do the demonstration right now. Okay, so as mentioned, I have got myself a bit of basic white cardstock here, so I'm going to turn this into a bit of a DL card, but it's my sizes of what I do. It's not going to be the correct size for a DL, but this is just how I do it. So I'm going to cut this into, along the long edge, I'm going to cut this at 8 inches, which is 21.3 centimeters. Sorry, not 21, 20.3 centimeters. And I'm going to cut that down like that. So it's easier if you can work in inches on this particular one. And then I'm going to score this in half at 4 inches. And that there is going to give me my long card. Okay. So basically it's your A4 card, just cut it at 8 inches and then score it and then fold it in half, and that's going to give you your tool card basically. Alright, so that's that one done right there. I've got myself my designer series paper, so remember these were the two pieces which I used. So I've got one here which is measuring 4 inches because I want it to cover the entire front of my card there, by which in inches is 8¼ inches, which in centimeters will be 21 centimeters. So basically it's going to be your card front, cut a piece of paper so it is covering the whole piece. So whatever your card front is, cut a piece of paper to match the same. I've got another piece here. Red and green goes really well with each other, especially at Christmas time, so I'm going to go with that one there. So I've got another piece right here. So this is again measuring the full length of the card, which is 8 1/4 or 21, and we have got that down there at 2 3/4 inches by or 7 centimeters. Okay, and that's just going to then end up going onto this like that, but don't stick that down just yet because we need to do some work on this green piece first. What we can do though is we can stick the red one down, so let's get them nice and stuck straight away. So there we have the front panel done. You can see, you may have just noticed on the video there that I just had to cut a little bit off the top because DSP was just ever so slightly larger, but that was fine. Just with your little guillotine, if you've got one of those, you can quite easily trim that down. So that's your front panel. So just going to put that to one side to just continue drying. We are going to take ourselves our very vanilla cardstock here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp my trees. So you're going to need to stamp these 4 times, and then you are then going to need to then fussy cut them out. Okay, so I'm just going to do one for you. So stamp, you can go ahead and stamp, and get 2 on this. Go ahead and stamp this 4 times. And then what you then need to do is you then just need to cut those out. I've gone ahead and I've gone and done this 4 times already for you. So that's that one right there. Okay. Before we do anything else with these and we cut them down, I'm going to just do a little bit of colouring on them. So this is very subtle colouring on these. So all I've got here is I've got myself a bit of petal pink Stampin' blend in the dark, and I'm just going to colour in what would be the ornament or the baubles. And I'm kind of deciding that the ornaments are the ones which are slightly, let's just bring that in there, slightly kind of like they've got like a little bit of a diamond shape to them. The circle ones are going to class as the as different ornaments. So the ones which are kind of like a diamond shape are the ones I'm going to colour in with the Stampin' blend. So go ahead and do that on all 4 of these. So there we have it. That's all 4 of those done. So you can see just very subtle colouring on that. It shows up more in person, it does in camera, but that's just got a little bit of petal pink on those ornaments on that there. Alright, so we've done that one. And then what we want to do is we then want to then stick them onto our green piece. Okay, so I want my sentiment to be here. So let's do my sentiment first, and then we can then work this around. So for my sentiment, I've got myself a bit of cardstock here. This is again petal pink cardstock to match the Stampin' blend. So we've got that one. This is 1 inch thick, so that will be 2.5 centimeters. And I approximately need that to be about 8 centimeters. So if I just cut that down to size, I'll just make it to 9 to start off with, because then it gives me a little bit of playroom, but I will cut that down again afterwards. And I've got my sentiment. So the sentiment which I'm going to be using here is from the same set. So Christmas Magic is in the air. So that's the one which I'm going to be using. And I'm going to stamp this onto my petal pink cardstock in some real red. So we've got that there like that. And I'm just going to go over there like that. So more to the left, because I'm going to cover a little bit up with this tree over here, and then it gives us a little bit of what we can do for positioning. So which is why I've just made it a little bit bigger to allow things to be cut down. So we've got this. I'm going to then want this on here like that. I want that to butt up along the edge, and I want that to go like that. So I know that I can cut down probably around about ½ inch in. So the reason I just go a little bit bigger, and then that way you can then decide how much you then want to cut down. It's just easier to remove than it is to, it's just easier for positioning. So that's where I want that to go, like that there. Okay, if anything, I want to just take a little bit off of the other side. Okay, just a fraction. Okay, so you can see there's no real measurements to this one here. This is all about eyeballing it. I want it on the edge, and then I want that to go in like that. There. So once I'm happy with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I am just going to pop some glue on that. Have that buttered up against the edge, and then I can then put my tree on this where I want it to be. So at the moment nothing's stuck down onto the designer series paper. I'm just using this purely for positioning, and that's that. Okay, so that's where my sentiment will be going, or anywhere around here afterwards. So I can now pop this to one side, and that can be drying as well. So with these pieces, actually I won't pop that to one side, bring that back in again. With these pieces, what we want to do is I want to then just pop them on here where I would like them to be. So kind of like that, and like that. And then we're going to then glue these down in position, but only onto the green designer series paper. So you just want to have a little look at where things were. Okay, and then stick that down like that. Okay, but not this one here. This is just purely just for positioning at the moment, so we know where this one is. So you are now ending up with something which looks like this. So the only things which are stuck down at the moment is the red designer series paper and these trees, making sure that we don't stick to we haven't stuck them to the red background. To get a little bit of overspill, but that's fine. That's going to get covered up anyway, so it's not an issue. So that's that stage so far. Then what we want to do is we then want to grab our trimmer, and we now want to then cut these pieces down. So this is a matter of now just popping this in here, and then just cutting the trees off, so we are now left with a straight edge. Okay, so it's quite straightforward to do that, especially if you're able to get it into the measurements of the designer series paper as well. Just line it back up again and then just slice it. So that's what I've done with those ones. And then we can then do the same here. So I know it's 2 3/4 of an inch or 7 centimeters, so I can do that there. And then that's going to take this bottom part off quite nicely down there. And then what was that? I was 8 inches, no sorry I wasn't, I was 8 1/4 inches or 21 centimeters. So whatever you've gone for on that one there, and then just take that one off the bottom, and then we can then just take that one off quite easily. Like that. So you're basically just getting rid of all of those overhang parts of those trees, and that's that part done like that. And then that will eventually get stuck on like this. But before we do that, what we want to do is we want to grab our metallics here. So our metallic enamel effects basics. So we've got a gold, we have got a bronze or a copper, and then we've also got a silver in here as well. So I'm just going to, for this particular one, I'm going to use gold. I have done this already because this takes, I've given this 24 hours to dry. It does dry quicker, but for you to be able to use it, but I just popped it on the counter and just left it to dry overnight. So I have got one which is already dried, which I have done in the copper. So I'm going to do this one here in the gold, and then we can then see what they look like. I can show you at a later date what they look like. So let's have a little look. So we're going to do this now. My little tip for you on this one is have a bit of paper to one side and just test it first, because otherwise you can see I just splattered a little bit, just splodged out quite quickly. So just practice first of all on a bit of paper to start off with, and then on all of the little circles I'm just going to just pop some of these metallics. Okay, so I'm going to do this for all 4 trees. So the one which was separate, which we've got the sentiment on. Okay, and then on all of these ones on here as well. So basically what I'm doing is I'm squeezing it and then just lifting straight up. Squeeze, stop squeezing and lift off. Squeeze, stop squeezing and then lift off, straight off. And then they should, if you're careful, they should then dry in a nice rounded top. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've gone and done those there, so you can see that then I've got those pearls. I did have a little bit of an accident on that one there, one just strayed out, but you can see they will all be varying different sizes depending on how much you squeeze the bottle. So I'm just going to go and pop this to one side because this does need time to dry. So again, I gave mine 24 hours before I did this yesterday on my ones, and I've done it in the copper. So I'm just going to pop these to one side before I cat sits on them, so just bear with me one moment and then I'll show you the copper version which is already dried. So we have got them here, so you can see there we've now got the copper and they are completely dry. They are different sizes, they've kept their shape as well, so if I just do it like that you can just see there that they've kept their, where is the camera, there we go. So you can just see that a little bit there. Okay. So they are all varying different sizes. They are dried. They've kept their things, so they are really nice. And you've got that one like that. Alright, so that's what you've got there. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and stick this one directly down onto the piece of paper. And that's going to go down. So that's why we couldn't stick it down initially, is because we needed the pearls to dry down. If you're not going to be doing the pearls, and you're going to be doing something else, some rhinestones, then you can then go ahead and then stick that down. But because we need those other ones to dry, just needed to just give it a little bit more time. And then we can then finish this up by then popping this one on like this onto some dimensionals. And we'll stick the dimensionals on the back of all of this, including the sentiments. And then that can then go on like that. And remember we had it butted up against the edge here, like so. And that goes on like that. Now just one more thing which I want to add to this to finish off this case. So everything is pretty much the same apart from the designer series paper. So I've got here the adhesive backed star trinkets from the Oh Holy Night suite. So we're just going to cover up those stars at the top of the tree with these stars from this set here. So you just need 3 of these, and I think that just sets it off quite nicely. Just gives that nice little bit of bling there as the light catches that one. You can just see, looks really pretty. And there we go, that there is my case from page 19 from the Shop Le Town stamp set, which is this one right here. And that there is my inspiration and my case. So case, if you are unsure of what case means, it can either mean copy and selectively edit, or copy and share everything. So I have pretty much copied and shared everything on those two there, apart from the designer series paper, but I've used the whole thing. And I haven't done the base of the tree on that one. But that there is my inspiration for today's video hop, for the Stamp Around UK video hop with the theme of Case to Catalogue. So I do hope you have enjoyed watching how I've created that. So do be sure to check everyone else's videos out down below. Remember, the links down below in the description, links to our online shops if you want to purchase anything you've seen me using or anything else from the catalogue, current catalogue or online exclusives. Links to our online shop are down below in the description, as well as other links which we think you may find useful over to our website. But in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed, and we will be back with you again soon with our regular Facebook or YouTube lives, Funfell Fridays, and of course next month, the beginning of next month, with another Stamp Around UK video hop. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care for now. Bye bye.